Well, I'm proud of my guys. I thought, we really showed some resiliency after playing mediocre basketball. I couldn't put my finger on it other than the fact that we hadn't been in Pittsburgh in so long that we just kind of lost our juice. We worked really hard for 3 days, like harder than we've worked in a long time, and really kind of looked long term and just trying to get back to just being a hard-working, fundamental defensive team. And we played better tonight, even though we made some mistakes. Overall, we knew it was going to be a big physical game. Mike Hughes really changed the game in the second half. I mean, they couldn't score around the rim, and those turned into fast break baskets. So that's a huge thing to block 7 shots.
You, 3 days leading up to this game, you worked harder than you've worked all season?
Yeah, we worked really hard. I mean, so normally my philosophy is when things go poorly to massage them, but I couldn't do it.
I read your quotes after the Marshall game. You were pretty upset after that game? Message got through?
I always get upset because I have unbelievably high expectations and standards, but then you have to settle down and understand what the business is. And the business is some nights you're not going to be great, and you have to try to win when you're not great. I thought we were emotionally disengaged for about 3 games. We just didn't have it. This isn't easy what we're going through. Again, I'm not making any excuses, but I felt just like this felt like a home game at least, where even though it was a fairly long drive for us, we haven't played at home in a long time, Jerry. I mean, we played at Akron, we played in St. Petersburg, we were there a long time, then we went to Cleveland. I mean, we're like a bunch of vagabonds, gypsies, right?
Is this, you speak to, I guess, getting back to that hard-working mentality, is this a good opponent to do that against? Because like you said, they're gonna muck it up and play physical too.
And they got some tough guys. I mean, look, what they did last year, they finished 10-8 in the league, and then they won 4 games to go to the NCAA tournament. And guys been in a lot of big games as a coach and as a player. And their guys have been in a lot of big games, and they came in here with a good record against good teams because physically they can match up with anybody in the country. We did a good job. We did a good job around the rim, which I thought was key.
Tegan coming off the bench, what does that give him, I guess, mindset-wise? What's the decision-making process?
Well, I didn't like what I saw, and I knew he could play freer and easier off the bench than he can. And again, when guys make sacrifices for the good of the team, generally something good happens, and it was good for him. He could fling them up, which is what he does well. I thought he played pretty good defensively, and I like Lamar. I thought Lamar could, when he started last year, did a good job. Just felt like it was time to make the move.
I don't know if we've talked to you since Marcus has started his stretch recently. If you see anything change, it's been like 5 straight games that he's led the team in scoring, set another career high tonight. If you see anything change in his mentality or anything that he's doing better?
I think he's a better athlete than he was last year, more explosive. But we've done a really good job of getting him the ball down in there where he's good. And then, they decided to play a little small. And, if you don't have a center on him or a big, strong forward on him, he's difficult. And, he coughed up 5 of them that I thought were pretty much unforced, But that's him. Like, he's going to do some bonehead things, but he's going to rebound the ball, he's going to compete, and he's scoring everything around the rim. Last year he got a lot of them blocked. This year he's not. And, when you can score at both blocks, that helps you. Your margin of error improves.
Was there anything special said at halftime or anything that you could share that seemed like you guys came out?
I thought we got good point play, and then I think Mike dominated the game.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the half, which those baskets turned into transition baskets. And then they tried to speed us up and got back in the game a little bit, but that's kind of what we did at UAB. That's a double-edged sword as well, right? Because you open yourself up. So he felt like he had to do it, which I agree with, but it hurt him too because we made a couple open threes because of it.
What to say about your team that you could win with 21 turnovers?
Every game's a mutually exclusive event, and every game's a little bit different. I knew that if they didn't crush us on the boards, we would be right there to win. Now, they out-rebounded us, but it wasn't a crushing. And that we shot a better percentage than they did.
When you go back to practice, Keith, when you mentioned those 3 days, how much of it was addressing areas of concern versus just getting that attitude and that belief back?
We played 4-on-4 full court. We played a lot of one-on-one, guarding the ball. We worked on our ball screen defense. We challenged them, with their duels, winning duels. And you could tell they wanted to be coached. They didn't like it either. And then yesterday I thought we were just okay because we were a little tired. I'm thinking, damn, I worked them a little too hard. But we came out tonight, and I think part of it was good crowd, good fan support, pretty nice arena, and then played a good team and went to the NCAA tournament. I thought that challenged them, with a couple guys that are thought of as two of the better players in the league as well.
You mentioned a team that wants to be coached. Is that one of the characteristics of a good team, a team that wants to be coached and listens?
Yeah, we don't always want to be coached, Jerry, but tonight we decided we wanted to be coached a little bit, and in practice they wanted to be coached. And look, I'm not the most eloquent person sometimes when I'm coaching them, so I'm not saying it's easy. It takes some time to get used to, but they were pretty good tonight.
What did you like about the way that Sin defended Jordan Goodwin tonight? Really?
Well, I thought he did a good job, man. He,
Mhm.
he kept him off the. Now he scored some, but he was inefficient, right? And a lot of them were off of ball screens that weren't really Sin's deal either. So, and I thought Sin was dead on his feet and still competed. I took him out, tried to get him a break, and then we kind of went haywire, so I had to bring him right back. So, but he made some plays when it mattered.
You come right back on Sunday. How do you approach the next couple of days?
Well, that's an interesting dynamic because they didn't play. So they didn't play tonight, so they'll have all that rest, but I kind of like playing. I think the more we play, the more we get in our routine, the better we'll play, and the less days off, the better we'll be. So we'll come back tomorrow afternoon, take no days off, and get ready for them. Now, we've done some things that, getting ready for them all season because they run some of that motion that we practice against. But, look, it's going to be Grady and Goodmanson, and we got to do a good job on their big guy. And it's going to be a different kind of a game. They're more finesseful. So, again, it's going to come down to can we guard their best players? And can we make stops when it matters? And then can we be more disciplined offensively? Because you can't make 21 turnovers against them.
You ease off a little in practice?
No. I'll pick and choose when I do that, but we're not ready for that.
Free throw shooting was huge tonight. Is there any rhyme or reason to being a good free throw shooting team other than being a good free throw shooting team?
So that's coaching. No. So what kills me is I've had a lot of bad free throw shooting teams. Not as bad as St. Louis, but I've had some bad ones, right? And people say, well, don't they practice? Duh. I mean, everybody practices them, but a lot of it is mental and a lot of it is physical. We're making more free throws. Now, we put time in, but we have a good free throw shooting team, right? And the right guys got fouled too. So when the right guys get fouled, you're going to make your free throws. And we've made them all year pretty much.
Yeah.
We had one really bad game, I think.
Given the last couple of weeks, how important is a win given these last few days, especially versus maybe what a reverse outcome would
Well,
have been?
you don't ever want to lose. I mean, the fragility of this sport is crazy. It's kind of like a closer that blows a close, right? He might have had 15 straight and then he blows one, and then psychologically blows the next one, and pretty soon it snowballs on him, right? He can't get anybody out. It's the same thing. Most people are front runners, and when things go poorly, they have trouble rallying themselves, right? So you never want to go 2, 3, 4 games in a row. That's not good for you, right? It's hard to rally people. By the same token, if you win a bunch in a row, sometimes you get prosperity drunk, right? And you forget really you forget how you did it to get to where you got. So I don't really think we were prosperity drunk. I think we just kind of lost our edge. A little tired, a little messed up in the head, but I think we just kind of lost it for a couple 3 games.
Yeah.
Good?